huge welcome to episode 3 of my Disneyland Paris guide. I'm so excited for this one because I'm going to be telling you all about the hotel options at Disneyland Paris. Whether you have got cash to burn and you want 5-star luxury, or whether you want to do this trip on a budget, there is a hotel option for you. I'm going to be covering all of the on-site hotels as well as some off-site options as well, just so you know what sort of hotel options you do have, where they are, how much roughly they cost, and yeah, I just thought it'd be a really nice one just to cover as many hotels as I can. It's probably going to be a bit of a longer one because there's a lot of hotel options. So put this video on pause, go and grab a cup of tea, get your notepad out ready. But yes, I'm going to cover as much as I can in this video. I'm going to start with the on-site hotel. So I'm going to start with like the best one, so the 5-star Disneyland Hotel, and then we're going to sort of progressively work our way down the star ratings and down the price brackets. So yes, we're starting with number 1, the Disneyland Hotel. The Disneyland Hotel is located inside the park. You literally have to walk through the Disneyland Hotel to get into Disneyland Park. It is amazing. I have stayed at every single on-site hotel, by the way, so I can speak A, from experience, and B, from an information point of view. So yes, I've stayed at them all. I stayed at the Disneyland Hotel in February 2024, I believe it was. It was just after it had been refurbed. It's a lovely, beautiful, gorgeous hotel. It does have a very, very big price tag on it. I think we paid about £800 a night. There was 4 of us though, so we did split the cost between the 4 of us, which is the only way we could afford to stay there. But it does come with a big, big price tag. Like, it is very expensive. So yes, it is a 5-star hotel. It's located literally in the park. So as you exit the hotel, you take maybe 20 to 30 steps and you are at the turnstiles for Disneyland Park. The location you cannot beat. Genuinely fantastic, and I would really recommend it if you have the budget for it. We unfortunately didn't have the best of stays. I'm not going to tell you details as to why. It was, 3 or 4 weeks into just being opened after its refurbishment. I don't think it was ready to be open, but I can appreciate the fact it is a beautiful hotel. But yeah, it is lovely. It comes with options like you have an option to have your luggage delivered to your room and taken away when you check out. You have exclusive princess suites that are just for hotel guests, purely, like, no other guest can do this apart from guests in the Disneyland Hotel. They have, a pool, they have a spa, they have so many amenities. That is just amazing. They have 2 restaurants on site. There is also a 3rd one, but it's not technically a Disney restaurant, but we'll cover that. So yes, there's 2 restaurants on site. You have the Royal Banquet, which is character dining. So you will have Mickey and Minnie, and then you will either have Donald and Goofy, or Donald and Daisy rather, apologies, or Pluto and Goofy. So you'll have 4 characters at character dining. I have done the Royal Banquet. It was phenomenal. Genuinely so good. I loved the food. I loved the character interaction. It was a really, really good meal, but it does come with a $100 price tag, €100 price tag. I can't talk today. It is expensive, but it is worth it in my opinion. And there is also La Table de Lumière, which again is character dining, but you get to meet princesses. So you will have 3 princesses and their princes, and they will come around your table and greet you as you're eating your very expensive and lovely dinner. I think that's €120 set menu. So yes, very expensive, but might be worth it if you want to meet some characters. Moving on to our 4-star hotels. So there are 2 4-star hotels at Disneyland Paris. So we have Disney Newport Bay and also Disney's Hotel New York Art of Marble. Again, I've stayed at both. We'll cover Art of Marble first, just because that is probably the higher price tag than Newport Bay, so we're trying to work our way down. But yes, Hotel New York is a Marvel themed hotel, and it is phenomenally themed. Genuinely love it there so much. There's artwork all over the hotel, all Marvel themed. The rooms are Marvel themes. You can actually request what Marvel character themed room you want in the app ahead of your stay. And yeah, I loved our stay there. Again, it does have a very hefty price tag. I think it's about £600 a night. You can get cheaper deals depending on when you go and how many of you there are and all that jazz. But yes, we stayed March 2025, me and my friend Emily, and yeah, we absolutely loved it. I did request ahead of time to have a view of Lake Disney, which was very, very kindly granted. So we had this gorgeous view, and yes, it was just phenomenal. It's a fab hotel. I really, 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 really highly recommend it. Like, especially if you've got a Marvel lover in your family. I was the Marvel lover in our party, and I loved it so much, so much. You also have exclusive superhero meet and greets as well, like the Disneyland Hotel, just for hotel guests. It's called the Superhero Station, and yeah, it was amazing. We went in, we met Black Panther, we had a chat with him, we had some photos with him, and then there's like a series of photo opportunities around. So it's like things like Spider-Man's room, but it's upside down, so it looks like you're on the ceiling, and like Iron Man's boots, and loads of cool photo ops that is just exclusive to hotel guests. Again, you do have a pool and a gym area and all of that stuff you'd expect to have. There are 2 restaurants on site. Again, you have Downtown, which is a buffet, and my favourite Disney restaurant ever. It's amazing. And you also have Manhattan, which is more a la carte dining. I've not eaten there yet, but I would love to one day. But again, very hefty price tag, unfortunately. And there's also 2 bars on site as well, which are both phenomenal. I love having a little drink, you know, at the end of a park day. And you can go to any of these restaurants and bars, even if you don't stay at the hotel. But yes, I absolutely love Hotel New York Art of Marvel. They also do luggage delivery, just like the Disneyland Hotel. So when we checked in, we got there probably about midday. Our room wasn't ready, which is fine. And they just said, listen, if you come back before, I think they said before 6, you'll have to take your bags yourself. If you arrive after 6, we will have already taken your luggage to your room for you. So we decided to go back after 6 because we didn't want to lug our cases around. And yeah, fair play to them. Our cases were in the room. It was amazing. So yes, that is also something they offer. And yeah, I couldn't fault Hotel New York when we stayed at it. It's, like I said, it's got a very hefty price tag, but in my opinion, it is worth it. Next up, we have again another 4-star Disney's Hotel Newport Bay. I love Newport Bay. It was a very pleasant surprise to me because I hadn't stayed there until last year, and I've now stayed there I think 3 times? I can't even remember, but I absolutely adore that hotel. It's fab. It's got like a nautical theme to it, so it's very like white and blue, and you know, like the characters have got like nautical themed outfits when you meet them, and I just absolutely love it in there. It is one of the hotels as well that actually offer character meets in the lobby of the hotel. I will cover this a little bit more later on, but you can meet a series of characters. I'm not entirely sure of the times off the top of my head. I believe Newport Bay is in the evening, I want to say. If I can find out, I'll put it in the video here, but yeah, you can meet nautical themed Disney characters in the lobby of the hotel, and it's often that you don't have much of a wait either, whereas in the parks, you know, you could be waiting for an hour or so, but these ones often have a shorter wait time, which is great. So yes, Newport Bay is amazing. Again, it's another 4-star hotel. It is a little bit more expensive than some of the other options on site. I think it's normally around £400 or £500 a night, but in my opinion, it is worth it. I think it's a beautiful hotel. I really do. I think it's really well themed, it's well maintained, the staff are fantastic. All the cast members I've ever encountered in Newport Bay have been 10 out of 10. Like, I cannot describe to you how fantastic they are. Like, I stayed at Newport Bay August 2024 with my friend Benji, and when we got to the room, our body wash hadn't been filled, so we just rang down to the reception. They were like, yeah, no worries, we'll send someone up in a minute. And literally a couple of minutes later, someone was at our door with not just body wash, but like a full bag of toiletries, like the little mini ones, and we were like, oh my god, wow. So like we took some of them home, and it was just, the service was just amazing. So yes, Newport Bay is fantastic. I really can't recommend it enough, and it does also have a small perk over some of the other hotels. So all of the on-site hotels are walking distance to Disneyland Paris, so Newport Bay actually has its own security station. So all of the other hotels, minus the Disneyland Hotel, all have one security station that is just outside Hotel New York, but Newport Bay actually has a separate one. So that is a little perk, is that you will have a quieter and smaller security to go through. Moving on to our 3-star hotels. So we have Disney Sequoia Lodge and Disney's Hotel Cheyenne. I'll start with Sequoia Lodge just purely because that tends to be the most expensive out of the 2 normally, but they are quite often the exact same price. But starting with Sequoia Lodge. So I love Sequoia Lodge. It's no secret to anyone who knows me, I adore Sequoia Lodge. I stayed there loads when I was younger. I've stayed there loads as an adult. I just absolutely adore it. It's like sort of like a woodsy themed hotel, so it's like tucked away, like sort of behind some trees. That sounds really weird, but I'll put a picture in so you can see what I mean. But I love Sequoia Lodge. It's got a really cozy feel to it. Like, it's one of those hotels where you come back to and you feel like you're home. I know that sounds really cringy, but I just like, I come back to Sequoia Lodge and I'm like, ah, yes, like this is home. And I just adore it there. They've got Bambi themed rooms and they're just really cute, very like I say, very woodsy feel. I just think it's a really lovely hotel to come back to in the evening and just feel warm and cozy and lovely. It is another one of the hotels that does have character meets. Sequoia Lodges is in the morning though, so I think it starts at 8:15 and usually finishes about 10 AM. And you can meet a series of Disney characters all dressed up in their like woodsy little gowns. It's really cute. But yeah, I love Sequoia Lodge. It's one of my favourites. It's usually moderately priced. Like, if there's not that much difference between the 2-star hotel Santa Fe, which I'll cover later, and Sequoia Lodge, I would 100% recommend Sequoia Lodge. And if Sequoia Lodge and Cheyenne are the same price, go for Sequoia Lodge, purely because it's about 10 minutes less of a walk. And I love it. It's my favourite, if I didn't already mention. So yes, Sequoia Lodge is just beautiful. I love it there. And moving on to our other 3-star hotel, which is Disney's Hotel Cheyenne. I haven't stayed here for probably about 15 years, so when I stayed there last, it was very much Wild West themed. There was no Toy Story at all, so I really need to stay at this hotel again just so I can experience the Toy Story theme that they've now added. But as you may have guessed, this hotel is Toy Story themed, so it's very, on the exterior it's very Wild West, but in the actual rooms they are now Toy Story themed, which is awesome, and I think they look fantastic. So if you've got a Toy Story lover in your family, this is the hotel for you because the theming is on point. It's just fantastic. It looks amazing just from the pictures and videos I've seen online, and I love Cheyenne. I think it's a great hotel. I love the theming, like they really go all in on the theming of this hotel. It is probably about 15-20 minute walk away from the parks, whereas the other ones are probably about 5 to 15 if that, but it is a little bit further out. It is opposite Santa Fe, so that's got a similar walk, but it is more of a budget friendly hotel, and I think it's fantastically themed. Moving on to our very last on-site hotel. This is a 2-star hotel, but in all honesty, it doesn't feel like a 2-star hotel. It feels exactly the same as some of the other ones. And this is Disney's Hotel Santa Fe. So this is a Cars themed resort. So again, if you have any Cars themed lovers in your family, this is the hotel for you. I've stayed there a few times. My last time was, I think, 2023 now. I think it was, but I loved staying there. Again, I love the theming. The cast members are all fantastic. The rooms are comfortable. It's not that long of a walk. And I just think it's a really fantastic hotel, especially if you are on a budget, but you still want to be on site. So it's one of the cheaper ones. It's usually a fair bit cheaper than Cheyenne and Sequoia Lodge, and obviously a considerable amount cheaper than the rest of them. But yes, it's still a fantastic hotel. So if you are coming to Disneyland Paris and you think, oh God, like I don't want to spend loads of money on the hotel because we're going to be in the parks all day, Santa Fe is the hotel for you. It's just really fantastically themed. It's, you know, it's not that far to the parks either. All of the on-site hotels have bus services as well, by the way, every single one of them, so don't worry about that. So if you think, oh, 20 minutes is a long walk, just jump on the bus, it's no bother. But yes, Santa Fe is fantastically themed and also has a lot lower of a price tag. So those are the on-site hotels. So as I just mentioned, they all do have a bus service to the park, minus the Disneyland Hotel, because you really don't need it, because if you've got a bus to the bus station, you have a further walk to the parks. But yes, they all have bus services, and they all have something which we call extra magic hours. So on-site hotel guests at Disneyland Paris get extra magic hour, which is an extra hour in the parks before the parks actually open. So if the opening hours of the parks, you know, are 9:30 in the morning, you will be able to enter at 8:30, and you will just show your magic pass, which is your key card that you're given in at check-in, and it's going to be like your room key and your tickets and all that fun stuff. So yes, you just show that and they will let you into the park an hour early, and I really would recommend that you do extra magic hour. Yes, you do have to get up at the crack of dawn. Yes, it's very early. Yes, the kids aren't going to want to get out of bed, but you get so much done in that hour, like so many rides. You can, you know, meet some characters, you can just get so much done. My favourite thing to do personally is go and get castle pictures while it's quiet. That's my favourite thing to do in extra magic hour because there's no one around. There's no one in the back of your pictures. But yes, those are some perks of staying on site. There is technically one more on-site hotel. I don't class it as an on-site hotel just because it's not actually on-site. You do have to drive from there. But that is Disney's Davy Crockett Ranch. I can't speak today, I'm so sorry. But yes, Disney's Davy Crockett Ranch, so hard to say, is about a 10-15 minute drive away from Disneyland Paris, but it is classed as an on-site hotel. There's no bus shuttle service from this resort, so you do have to drive, you have to take your own vehicle, and because they don't tend to allow taxis on site either, so you do have to take your own car and drive, but because you're staying at an on-site hotel, you do get free parking at the parks. So if you are driving over to Disneyland Paris, if you are on a budget, it is a great option for you because it comes equipped with everything you need. So it's like almost like camping, but like in a house. I don't know what you'd call that. It's like ranch style, but yeah, you have like, you know, a kitchen, a living room area, you have bedrooms, you obviously have a bathroom, and it's a really cool like idea if you are taking the car or if you've got a really big family, because these can sleep up to 6. But yeah, I haven't stayed there personally, just because I don't tend to drive to Disneyland Paris, and staying there would be a bit pointless for me because I won't have a car. But it does look like a really cool place to stay, and it is more of a budget option as well. It does tend to be a little bit cheaper than the actual on-site hotels, but like I say, it does come with the disadvantage that you do actually have to drive yourself to the parks. There are also quite a few partner hotels at Disneyland Paris, so these are not official Disneyland Paris hotels, but these are hotels that have got a partnership with Disneyland Paris so that they can offer you some exclusive perks, so stuff like bus shuttle services and things like that. So there are quite a few of them. I'm not going to cover them all in great detail, but I will give you like a quick rundown of some of them. So I'm just going to look at my laptop here because these have actually changed since I last looked at this. So there's currently 5 partner hotels. So they are Hotel B&B. So this is actually located in Manilehongre. Don't quote me on that phrasing, I don't know. I've stayed there loads of times. I've probably stayed there about 8 times. I love it. It is budget. It is a 2-star hotel. It's really nothing special, but it's cheap, it's cheerful, it's clean, and I think it's a fantastic hotel. You also have Apart Hotel Adagio Val d'Europe. Again, I've stayed here a few times, absolutely love it. This is located in Val d'Europe and again does have a shuttle bus service. You also have Key Space Hotel and Spa. I've personally never heard of this one, so I can't really say much about it, but it is a partner hotel. There's also Stay City Apart Hotels Paris, which is located in Marne-la-Vallée, which is just, a short distance away from Disneyland Paris. And again, assuming that they have a shuttle bus service. Again, don't know much about this hotel, never stayed there. And then you also have Hotel L'Alice. Don't quote me on that saying again. And that is also located in Val d'Europe. So again, we'll have a shuttle bus service, but also is only 1 stop away from Disneyland Paris on the train. I want to talk a little bit more about Hotel B&B, purely because A, I've stayed there loads and I love it, and I think it's a great base for Disneyland Paris, and B, because it's actually in an area with 4 other hotels that all share the same shuttle bus service. So I thought this would be a really nice one to sort of group into some other hotels. So as I said earlier, Hotel B&B is cheap and cheerful. It is a fantastic base for Disneyland Paris. I have never had a bad stay there, and I've stayed there, like I say, probably about 8 times. And I love it there. I genuinely have never had a problem. I've never had an issue. The staff have always been friendly. I've always had a great breakfast there. Like, the buses are fine. I'll cover that a little bit more later. They're fine. They're not good, but they're fine. They get you back and forth. But yeah, I love Hotel B&B, and it's really reasonably priced. You can sometimes get it for about £100 a night, sometimes more, sometimes less. But I'd say average is probably about £100. You can also book this hotel as like part of a package with tickets as well through different providers, and I just think it's great. But there's also other hotels in that area, so it's basically sort of like a road that's like sort of like a semicircle, and there's 5 hotels dotted along that road. So Hotel B&B is on one side, and then you have Hotel Explorers. So this is a hotel more geared towards kids, so it has like a big play area, it has a big pool area, it's like sort of pirate themed. I've never personally stayed there just because it's not really up my street, but I have been in for a bit of a wander around just to have a look because I'm nosy, and it looks like a fantastic hotel, especially for the kids. It's really well themed, but yeah, it looks great. It is a little bit of a higher price tag purely because I think the theming you get and like the amenities that you get, but it looks like a great hotel. Moving on from there, you then have, which one is it? I completely forgot what hotel came next then, apologies. But next up you have Dream Castle, which is a 4-star hotel. I have stayed here once and it was a lovely hotel. We really enjoyed it. It is definitely, you can feel that it's a 4-star hotel. It is very well themed. It is a stunning hotel. The rooms are gorgeous, the beds are massive, the rooms are massive, the hotel is just stunning, genuinely stunning. So if you want more of a luxury stay without the Disney price tag, this is a great option for you. Like I say, I've only stayed there once purely because I definitely like staying on site more. But it was a lovely hotel and I really did enjoy it. But unfortunately it does come with the 4-star price tag. It is usually sort of around £200-300 a night. You can get it for cheaper on certain nights, but I think we paid, I think it was about £500 for 3 nights, which was a fantastic rate at the time, but this was going back 2 years now. But it is a really lovely hotel and I really do love it. And then next up we have Grand Magic Hotel. This has recently been refurbed and it looks incredible. I have stayed here once, but this was literally for about 8 hours after a flight cancellation, so I went to bed and then I left again. But it was great. The room was great, the bed was great, the staff were lovely. I didn't eat at the restaurant, I didn't go to the bar or anything like that, but I have, again, been in for a bit of a nosy since it's had its refurb, and it looks amazing in there, and I've had, friends who have stayed there who have absolutely loved it as well. So yes, another great option for your Disneyland Paris stay. And then right at the end of the road, you also have another budget option, which is Hotel Campanile Val de France. I think I've stayed here about 2 or 3 times, never had a bad stay again. I really enjoyed it. It's very budget, it's very basic, but it's good, it works. It's a very well-known brand out in France as well, so you're going to get a good stay because it's a massive chain brand. It's like, you know, how we have Premier and Travelvlog. You know you're not going to go wrong with that. It's cheap and cheerful. It does the job. So I really do enjoy Campanile, and again, a great budget option. And those 5 hotels all share a shuttle bus service. The shuttle bus service works. It's not great. It could be run a lot better, but it works. So yes, all 5 hotels will share a shuttle bus service. So they do alternate shuttle buses. So one service will start at B&B, go along and end at Campanile. The next bus will start at Campanile, go along and end at B&B. Purely because they are busy buses. Like first thing in the morning, it is a little bit like the Hunger Games, and especially last thing at night, because they have one bus stop and, you know, 5 hotels worth of people are trying to get on the one bus that parks up. They do have regular buses, don't get me wrong, but it can be like the Hunger Games. Give it a go. You might not mind the hustle and bustle of the buses. I personally, if I ever stay in those hotels, I have started actually walking back and forth to the parks. It's about 25-30 minutes, but it's just the Hunger Games buses just ain't it for me. I will sometimes get on them, but if I can avoid them, I will. But they are options for you. I did also mention earlier that there's some hotels in the Marne Valley and Val d'Europe area. So again, there's loads of great hotels. I literally could not name them all for love nor money. We'd be here all day. But there are loads of hotels. You know, there's an Ibis, there's the Adagio that I mentioned. There's just loads of hotels, and a lot of them have shuttle bus services and a lot of them don't. But you can get to Disneyland Paris on the train from Val d'Europe. So it's literally one stop. It takes not even 5 minutes. I don't know the cost off the top of my head. I think it's probably about €2 something at the moment for a one-way ticket, but it's a great option if you are staying off-site to save some money, because the hotels in Val d'Europe and Marne Valley tend to be cheaper. And if you want even cheaper again, there are some hotels further out on the train line. So the train line is the RERA, and it is basically a direct train to Disneyland Paris. It ends at Disneyland Paris, so any of, you know, the train stations along that line you can stay at hotels. So I have stayed at Val d'Europe, I've stayed at the next one along, which is Bussy St George, I've stayed at the next one along, which is Torcy, and they sort of get cheaper the further away you go from Disneyland Paris. So if you are prepared to, you know, pay a little bit of money for the train and have a bit of a longer commute to Disney, it is worth it. There's some really cheap hotels, especially in Bussy St George and Torcy. Like when I stayed in Torcy once, I paid £48 a night for a hotel. It's dirt cheap, like literally so cheap. So yes, loads of different options, loads of budget options if you're prepared to stay off-site, and the RER is really, really easy to use. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. You buy a ticket, you scan your ticket, you get in the train, you get off the train, you scan your ticket back out. It's like any sort of train that you get anywhere really, you know, you scan in and out and you get on the train. I don't really know what to say about that. I am going to leave this video here purely because I feel like I talked for a really, really, really long time. If you do have any questions or want more further information, leave me a comment below, or you can contact me on Instagram at Stace Does Travel. It's the exact same as my username on here, and I'd be happy to discuss, you know, more options for you, which hotel might be the right option for you, any questions you might have, any concerns you might have, and yeah, I'd be more than happy to chat with you guys about the hotels at Disneyland Paris. But yeah, any questions, leave them below, contact me on Instagram, contact me however you see fit. And I would love to chat with you about the Disneyland Paris hotels. But yeah, I really hope that you guys have found this useful. Apologies for talking for so long. I knew I was going to have a lot to say, but this was a long one, so apologies. But I really hope it's been useful. And with that, I am going to love you and leave you, and I will catch you in the next one.